Hi, everyone. Okay, so I've been gone for too long, but uh, so my apologies for that. Today, I want to focus on Love and Marriage Detroit since it finally came back, season 2, episode 1. Super easy to do season 2, episode 1. So, first of all, it starts us off with, uh, let me pull up the characters because I want to make sure that I get the names right. So my bad. Because I am so flabbergasted by um some of these folks. Okay. So it looks like they didn't update the cast. Um, okay, so let's just start off with Dismiss because that's where they start us off. Brandon and Christina. Brandon shows up to Christina's house with laundry. This dude is living with his mama and is showing up at her house with laundry. Christina, you better than me because you show up at my house with laundry, I'm throwing it on the ground. Actually, you hand it to me. No, first of all, you hand it to me, it's gonna fall on the floor because I'm gonna be like, what are you handing me? And then number two, I would proceed to pick it up and toss that stuff outside. Do you need a garbage bag? I'll hand you the garbage bag for you to put your stuff to it. You are not coming to the house. Do you hear me? You are not coming to the house with your dirty laundry and you also are living with your mama. Yo, what do I look like? Talking about, oh, she's like, you don't know how to, I never knew how to do laundry. Well, it's time to learn. So number one, that's number one. Number two, he wants to talk about the Lord. Girl, if you don't file for divorce. And then when she proceeds to say that you were looking at other women at our wedding, and he doesn't deny it. He's just like, I didn't think you heard. First of all, let me stop you right at that premise. When you have a wedding, I've had a wedding. When you have a wedding, this is what usually happens at a wedding. You're inviting family and friends. You don't invite strangers. You don't invite potential people that you may hook up with. You are inviting family and friends. And it's usually not an open free for all where anybody and everybody can come in because you're concerned about the head count. So explain to me, who were you looking at a wedding? The annulment would have happened. And then when he sits and talks to his mom, he's talking about, he says, well, she wouldn't have sex with me, and that's why I proceeded to marry her. First of all, who says that to their mother? I know you and your mother's relationship is not the best, but what? What? You say that to your mother? You have that kind of conversation with your mom to be like, yeah, I only married her because I wanted to have sex and she wouldn't have sex with me. So, really? Okay. So when he's up here talking about, well, let's just pray about it, there is nothing to pray about. And then I get that you guys are out here still masquerading, going out in public as one when you guys are separated. For what? I know you don't want people in your business, and I get that. But for what? I mean, y'all's relationship is not on the up and up. I think that that's an easy thing to see. So what are we doing here? We're masquerading what? So there's that. I if you don't file for divorce, like I'm gonna need you to have some self-respect, my girl, because this ain't it. This ain't it at all. I would not, I could not, would not. I mean, I understand that you really love somebody, but this ain't, I mean, we all play the fool, but this ain't it. The Russell and Kobe, I cannot stand Russell. And I can't understand, I don't know how much Kobe is going to be able to take of Russell either. I forgot because Russell is so nice looking that it's hard. So like even when I started watching the show, I was like, oh, Russell's not terrible. And then that took 2.2 seconds. And then it kicked in. Oh, I forgot what I talked about last season when I reviewed the show. This dude is terrible. And yeah, man. Okay, so she hadn't even had the baby. And he's ever talking about, well, if it's not a boy, then we going for another one. I translated that. He tried to make it seem like it's not a big deal to keep having babies. First of all, my first one, my back, I still got back problems because of the first one. And my first one is 10. No, my bad. She turned 12. My second one, he's 9, going on 10. And I got knee problems. I've lost weight, gained back, lost weight, gained back since the baby. And so, and each kid, I had a tooth fall out. And then I breastfed for a year and a half with my son, breastfed a year and almost a half with my daughter. I took supplements. It wasn't enough. So, I mean, I have all my teeth now, i.e. implants. But my point is, like who is going to see I have my teeth? But my point is, who is if she don't want to have another baby, she don't have to. She's like, I don't want 3 kids. And the thing that my husband wanted another one, and that would have made the two of us 3. And I would the I mean, there's a firm reason why there's a couple of reasons, but money aside, it isn't even as much about the money as much as about my free and my body. My free was my biggest concern. Actually, when right after I had my son, uh, getting pregnant right after the son, my biggest concern would be, would have been whatever verb tense you want to use was money and trying to do all this all over again. And granted, I didn't spend as much with my second as I did my first. Uh, but we also weren't in the best of place. And I do think that if I would have would have had a third, I think it would have been a smoother space for the three of, for the me and my husband. It would have been a better space if we would have been in a better space anyway. Um, with all that being said, the biggest, and especially now, I'm like, the oldest is, and now he's like, he still would want one, but he's, counting the dollars and the cents because these kids have activities. I mean, they cost like the activities, and then when we travel, I mean, there is no way that you can travel and take a trip someplace under 2 grand with a family of 4. Like when you calculate plane tickets, when you calculate the hotel room, when you calculate food, activities, and I take at least 4 or 5 trips a year, 2 in the fall, 3 in the spring, and then we do stuff in the summer, not including summer school, costs, tuition. Both of them are in sports, lessons, chess lessons, birthday parties cost like a good G or two. Friend outings, you have uh, like these college fund things, then life insurance, then I'm paying for the and if people and then you have the memberships to this and to that, and when people are saying you don't have to do all that, okay, yeah, sure, fine, I don't have to, but that's not the kind of parent that I would like to be, and I don't think that I could be a good parent if I have to then scale back on one. I don't think it's fair. Why should my children be punished because I decide to have another? So I don't, and even if we said money aside, money is not an issue. If I had all the money in the world, now we still got time. So I got to divide up my time versus, there are sometimes I couldn't make it to all the football games. Why? Because, and then, basketball season is right next, and then golf. Because because one kid is having a game at one time, the other kid's having a game at the same time. Then I gotta stagger. I gotta go from one location to the next. We're dividing. Some of the grandparent goes to this one, the uncle goes to that one, the mom's at this one. Like seriously, who wants this? Like, I mean, so for Kobe, and then she has ambition. I love my soul war. She has ambition. How's she gonna do this? How do you have ambition and desire and you still keep reproducing? She's like, I don't want to do this. And it's as much as some of y'all love being pregnant, I don't mind being pregnant. I don't like it. Uh, I didn't mind being pregnant the second time, but the first time I really didn't like it. I mean, I was constantly sleepy, constantly hungry. I had no energy. I was constantly taking naps. I mean, I need to take a nap right now, but that's not the point. The point, and I'm not pregnant, but the point is the notion that Russell just completely disregards how she feels. And it's just like, yeah, especially if this ain't a boy, we're going to be having another. She's like, maybe you're destined to be a girl dad. And he's like, nah. So what if the third one is a girl? So she's supposed to have a fourth? Oh, I don't know what to tell you. Girl, prayer ain't enough. Anthony and Latoya. Latoya is another one of my sorority sisters here. I like Latoya. I relate way more to Latoya than the others because she can't hide nothing with her face, and I'm the same way. And she's like, if I don't like you, I don't like you. Like she keep that same energy, and that I can respect. Kobe's a little bit more open, but she's also younger. Anyway, Latoya's husband. So they have this little outing. What I didn't understand, I mean, they have a new couple come over and they're having lunch or dinner. What I couldn't understand about this whole dinner situation is this. Do we not have dinner tables? It seems kind of weird. Now, if we having an outing, like, I mean, if we're having like a drink and appetizers, that's one thing. But the fact that I'm gonna have to bend over to cut a steak, sir, why can't we eat at the dinner table? See, this is the half of me that would have been like, look, Latoya, in this big ass house, you don't have a dinner table that we can eat at, or can I eat at the counter? Like, I'm not doing this. I would like to sit up. I need a table at, decent length. What about a TV table? Like a something. Can I get some Legos so I can stock it up so I can put my plate up here? Like, what are we doing? So I thought that was kind of strange. I don't know. Maybe I'm the anomaly, but I found all of that to be a little on the crazy side of town. Um, they were talking about uh hanging out with, this dinner that she was gonna, Latoya was like, I'll invite y'all. And then they weren't, I didn't write the names down, so I'm gonna do better next time. So forgive me. Um, they weren't happy with the concept of hanging out with Brandon and Christina. So there's that. Let me see if it's on this one. Hmm, this is old. Okay, maybe this is it. Okay, so that ain't happening. I can't help you. So, they still the OWN channel still has the old cast, which I think is kind of jacked up. Um, and whatever. So we shall see. I mean, that's how it ended with the dinner. And the dinner is supposed to, um, it has all the couples together. So, and then of course, Anthony makes his little comment about the pink poodle, called her a pink poodle because of her coat, Christina. But I mean, he didn't say it to her face, which is kind of crappy. I don't like, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Anthony. I really don't. I really am not. I mean, he's a level of petty that Latoya isn't. But I think because my husband is not that petty, like he's not a big person who's going to comment on women's outfits like that. Then I don't think, now he may clown the dude's outfit, but he's not going to sit around and clown the girl's outfit. Like that seems kind of childish. But Um, I did forget that Christina and Kobe had a sit down meet. And, Christina's trying to get this, sympathy points. Kobe is like, yeah, I'm really clearly Kobe is still not feeling her, but she's still in the space of, yeah, I'm not interested in having this conversation about, what, I'm still not feeling what happened week, last season. And she's just like, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you and Brandon. And I couldn't handle that. And I think that's a fair component. Um, I'm not upset with her saying that. And I can understand that as a wife, that you may not have, your friendships may teeter a bit because of the relation, because of whatever you're having, your friendships may teeter because of what's happening on in your personal life. So I definitely can understand that. But the problem, I guess, is last season, I could not understand Christina's angst towards Kobe. And the one thing I will give Russell is that he's like, I'm not for the, he definitely protects his wife in a way that Brandon doesn't protect Christina. And I can understand where Christina feels a way because you look around and it's like, well, why doesn't my husband have that same energy for me? Because your husband, he blames it. He is a jerk, but he blames it on the fact that he wasn't raised around Black folks. He was raised in this white, predominantly by this white mother, and so he's more passive. That very may be the case, but I don't think that that means, I don't know. I mean, that could be the case, but but I also don't understand, what does that mean that you can't stick up for your wife? Because all men of all nationalities stick up for their spouse. Blaming that on race is weird. That being said, done for this, and I have other things that I'm going to come back with, but it's mostly going to be on politics. It has nothing to do with entertainment. Have a great rest of your day.